It's 5 o'clock.
And it's crackerjack.
A meteor storm and the sky above us was dancing with lights. Purple, green, brilliant yellow, yes!
What?
These shoes! They fit perfectly. Yes.
But James, I need you.
So does England.
There are worlds out there where the sky's burning, where the sea's asleep and the rivers dream. People made of smoke and cities made of song. Some of there's danger, some of there's injustice, and somewhere else the tea's getting cold. Come on, Ace. We've got work to do.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Good evening, good morning. I hope you're doing well. I apologize to one and all. This is a pre-record. I'm recording this at 10:04 a.m. For me, which is, I guess, 8:04 a.m. in the UK, in Blighty. Yeah. What time is it on the East Coast? 3:04 in the morning. Not that matter. Why am I doing a pre-record and you're not greeted my my smiling visage live, right? Why? Well, firstly, it's Sabbath, right? Friday night at what time is it? Around 7ish, 6:37. Sabbath comes upon all of us who work. Yeah, it's Sabbath. But this Sabbath is a big Sabbath because it's Sabbath and the Jewish New Year, Rosh Hashanah, which is the only 2-day holiday. Now, so it's a holiday where you got the restrictions of Sabbath mostly, that you're not online and stuff like that. So yeah, I had to pre-record, and I wasn't sure I was going to do new content today. I've had quite a couple of quite good live streams this week, but there's been a couple of stories that I've been trying to get to all bloody week and failing, right? Absolutely failing. By next week, it'll be too late already. It's like, man, fair. And there's a bunch of Doctor Who rumors and stuff going around and cryptic things. I don't really care. Honestly, I'm not even black-pilled, right? I'm black-pilled on the new era of Doctor Who, but I'm just bored, right? I'm bored. I think it's going to be kind of mediocre and somewhat of a platform for gender theory, right? So we got that going on, and I'm just not sure how much fun that's going to be. Listen, I haven't seen anything that's been a platform for when I say gender theory, the belief that I think the religious belief, right? Because it's an act of faith, right? You have 3 ways you can think anything's real. You can have knowledge, you can have belief, you can have faith. Knowledge is when you have first-hand experiential evidence. I know I have 4 fingers and a thumb. I can see it, right? Those signals may be messed up, and that, but once you get there, you don't know anything, which is also true, right? But belief, knowledge is something that you have strong experiential experiential. That's the word I'm looking for. Evidence of. That's knowledge. And again, I am constantly, it's the weirdest thing that I keep looking at the news. And everybody in the news keeps saying, there is no evidence whatsoever to connect Joe Biden with the many bad things. There's an insane amount of evidence. But honestly, there's tax records, there's bank records, there's text messages, there's emails, there's WhatsApps, there's testimony, there's the timeline, right? The timeline of him Hunter Biden receiving calls from Ukraine saying, can you get this prosecutor, off us? And Joe Biden flying out to Ukraine, threatening to withhold $1 billion because they don't like this prosecutor. And this also came out today. First time I heard it today. There was also, and the excuse that says, well, he was just enacting U.S. policy, right? There's an email that came out today from about a month earlier praising this prosecutor. So yeah, no, then you have all these 20 shell companies and minimally 20 million, probably quite a lot more. Joe Biden receiving bribes clips, like testimony. There is just an insane amount of evidence. And they go, no evidence. What? No. I don't know. But they'll just memory hold it, right? Look, this is why when they said, when they said Donald Trump has no evidence of voting irregularities whatsoever, I didn't believe them, right? Listen, I would be, I'm open to having this evidence get a hearing and it being debunked, but nobody's done that, right? Nobody does that. They just scream into silence, go, oh, you're stupid just for asking the question. No, we're not, mate. No, we're not. But anyway, it's weird, right? It's weird how they're saying there's no evidence whatsoever. I don't know what to tell you. So yeah, that's what's been going down this week. Amongst other things. Plus, they're also melting down because Biden's being impeached for clearly being involved in bribery, corruption, money laundering. I don't know how much more clear it needs to be, but I guess people don't want to be wrong. Bottom line is people don't want to be wrong. Anyway, there's a bunch of news stories I mean to get to. The one we're ending with is Rusty Davies taking the piss out of toxic Doctor Who fandom. The crazy Jodie fans are all going to be pissed off beyond pissed off that Jodie's era is being erased. And they're kind of like in free fall about that. I believe it's going to be erased, right? Erased or ignored. They told you that kind of non-stop ever since Chibnall left. I mean, he did say that kind of verbatim. I don't know what to tell you. Well, so he's already taken the piss out of the backlash. But I think he's going to be like protected from any real backlash because it's good. This new era, as I said, is all about chicks with dicks, baby. It's all about that. That's all they really care about. Chicks with dicks. I mean, like, okay, then. It just seems like this is a weird hill to die on, right? That everything needs to be about chicks with dicks. Okay, I never had any problem with chicks. I mean, I was never into it, right? You know, if I may quote Ted, where is that quote from Ted? 1 second. Here we go.
No, there are no chicks with dicks, Johnny. Only guys with tits.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Sorry, press the wrong button myself. I meant to do this.
Rabbi, you're a very naughty boy.
That has been said. Nicola, you look fantastic, by the way, in that little picture. You look absolutely fantastic. But okay, yeah, I mean that honestly seems to be the focus of it. So we're going to end with the story where he's in production notes, essentially taking the piss out of them, and then the Radio Times tries to quell them, but no, they are pissed off. The toxic fans, they're always angry and they're always I mean, like, haven't you noticed, right, for people who say they're all about love and acceptance, how they're hate-filled morons? Like, they are always angry and miserable about something. I don't know. I guess not. In the same way, the media can't say, oh, yeah, there's tons of evidence. God damn, I mean, they're like, you know, categorically is. But I guess people just buy it, right? People just buy nonsense. Anyway, let's start looking. So we're finishing up with that. That's from my live stream last night, but we're going to get to everything we didn't get to yet, which we again threatened to get to all bloody week. So let's start with this story over here. By the way, also I like the Friday intro, right? You get Joe 90, you get that my favorite line from James Bond. James, I need you. Oh, so does England, dear. Which this sounds terrible, right? James Bond goes dreadfully woke in latest 007 novel. Will this happen in the movies? I'm really hoping not. Oh God, just don't announce any new James Bond. I was hoping for the apocalypse, right? I was hoping for the apocalypse to happen by the time you see this. Sadly not. Sadly, I think we're still here, right? Like, I mean, unless the apocalypse is going on right now, but sadly not. The apocalypse looks like it's not coming, and we might be stuck living in the world of woke forever. I find that a horrifying and dreadful thought. So let's see what's going on with Bond. TV comedian Charlie Higson, is he the guy who did Black Mirror? Don't think so. Was commissioned by Ian Fleming Productions to recently pen a modern 007 novel dealing with the upcoming coronation of King Charles III. entitled On His Majesty's Secret Service. The writer promised the story will feature sex, violence, cars, colourful villain, and with nasty henchmen, and of course Bond himself, so well-known and yet so unknowable. Well, he's pretty knowable, actually. I mean, he's aloof, but he's pretty knowable. However, now the book has become available, readers discovering that the comedian has written what can be best described as a woke James Bond novel. Oh, my God. The cast as its anti-transgender Trump-associated villain as its nemesis. Again, why is everything about convincing us that chicks with dicks are chicks, right? And yeah, it goes as far as that if you're not prepared to have sex with a chick with a dick, you're a bigot. That's my line, baby, right? I don't suck a cock for anybody. I mean, really not, right? I mean, not willingly. But, and I don't do it thinking that's an act of heterosexual love. Is that makes me anti-transgender? I don't think so. I mean, it's I like live and let live. I mean, you live your life your way you want to. Allow me to live my life the way I want to, and I'm not trying to impinge upon your life. But no, if I don't think what you think, then I'm evil. Trump-associated villain as his name is. Oh, for God's sake! I mean, look, I hate to say this. There's a reason that Trump is a populist. It's because he's not an elitist, right? And I know, like, all these detractors will say, "Oh, you've been duped. You've been duped into thinking he's a man of the people." Listen, I honestly don't think there's much subterfuge going on with Trump. I think Trump is as Trump is. I think the reason, he kept Fauci around during COVID is because he didn't know what he was doing. Nobody really knew what it was doing, what they were doing, right? I think his instincts are generally speaking very good, and I think they honestly they seem to be egalitarian and love. Like I tell you, I see no racism at all. But the detractors, I see constant racism. But then again, look, like when I say constant racism, I think the disproportionately high black population in prison is a direct result of left-wing policies designed to keep black people essentially under the thumb, keep them poor, keep them easily controllable, and keep their votes. I think the reason he was most supported by Trump was most supported by black people as from any other president, any other Republican president, because he kind of had their back, right? That's just what it seemed to me. But I know, look, people just don't want to be wrong. Charlie Higson didn't want to be wrong. You were wrong about Trump. We had world peace and the best economy of our lifetimes. You were wrong, right? Everything you said about Trump was the opposite, right? Biden is, in fact, the bumbling crook that will destroy the world, right? And we are on the brink of World War III. Why has the apocalypse not happened yet, right? I still want there to be a bloody apocalypse. The novel trashes US President Donald Trump and other right-wing politicians in a ridiculous international plot against the newly coronated progressive King Charles III. Yeah, when I say progressive, he's a bit World Economic Forum friendly. And that's the other thing. Listen, green policy is essentially about stealing money from working people to give to corporations. I mean, that's essentially what it's for. So what's to say? She started to seek out other violent groups. Again, what group's more violent? We had this is the insanity we live in, right? We had the Summer of Love where there was billions of dollars worth of damage, rapes, murders in the autonomous zones. It's like crime upon crime upon crime. We had January, and that's all fine. Nobody got prosecuted for anything to do with that, right? Then you had January 6th, which seemed to be a pretty legal airing of grievances that were not really addressed in any way, shape or form. And there was out like 500,000 people. There was a couple of hundred people being corralled by FBI-connected informers like Ray Epps to cause a riot on one side of the building. And they basically used that as a Reichstag fire to go after and use the full weight of the law to incarcerate anybody with the wrong political opinions. It's like pure fascism, right? It is fascism 101. But no, it's right-wing groups, right? Charlie, you're a fucking moron, mate. You are a moron. which inevitably, she started to seek out violent groups, which were inevitably on the far right. What about Antifa and Black Lives Matter? We're going to get to Black Lives Matter in a second, actually. Getting into white supremacy, nationalism, and Great Replacement. Dude, Great Replacement. Why do you think we have open borders, right? Why do you think there's been, 4 or 5 million people coming illegally into America over the southern border over the last 3 years? That is the definition of the Great Replacement. And it's not about white supremacy. Essentially, it's black people that get hurt disproportionately higher because it's people on the lower income of the spectrum. Why are they on the lower income of the spectrum? Because the left-wing policies destroyed the family unit, specifically targeting the black community because they're racist, right? It's Planned Parenthood was designed as a eugenics program to control black people. But no. It's all about white supremacy. Bond has always thought that the far right was closer to the far left than it was to the center. He disliked any movement that was too far in any direction. If that made him bourgeois, then it made him dull and mainstream, then so be it. No, Bond isn't dull and mainstream. You are, Charlie Higson, because you're a schmuck. He spent his life cleaning up the mess of these people left, and he was sick of it. When he took one look at Rajendot, bollocks. New York Times opinion columnist Ross Donut scorched the novel. Blimey, New York Times. They're very lefty. A piece added, "How America Made James Bond Woke," warning that it juxtaposed progressive version of the globetrotting spy against a caricature of conservatism. 007 is charged with protecting King Charles III from a dastardly plot hatched by a supervillain, Athelstan of Wessex, who can be described as a Brexiteer right-wing populist. Again, do you think Brexit actually happened? I don't think Brexit actually happened. Apparently, the true and natural heir to the Goldfinger and Blofeld. He goes on to note that Bond, known for his womanizing in the past, is in a romantic situationship. Fuck off. Situationship with an immigration lawyer. He permits to sleep with other men. Fuck off. No. Okay. If you're in a relationship and you have your wife sleep with other men, you're a cuck. James Bond is not a cuck. Fuck. Higson probably is a cuck, right? Neil Gaiman's a cuck, right? I remember the first time somebody told me about, was it cuckold porn? I was like, why? Cuckold porn is when it's like a porn fantasy when your wife has sex with normally several quite well-endowed black gentlemen in front of you, right? I don't really see the turn on to that. That's actually what I would call a massive turn off, right? That doesn't do it for me in any way, shape, or form. It really doesn't, right? And I'm like, yeah, I'm open to some kinky shit, mate, but not that. Did I say I'm open to kinky shit? No, I'm not. I'm too old, right? I'm too old. I'm like, let's get this over with. I want to go to sleep, right? That's basically where I am. Just, do I really have to put on my Batman costume? Well, I guess so. And on his mission, he must travel to Viktor Orban, Hungary, to infiltrate the vast right-wing conspiracy and avert a terrorist attack on Charles's coronation. Somebody lamented, the person who wrote this, lamented there's another example of American-style wokeness asserting its power throughout the Anglosphere. Well, they completely took over printing right at the beginning. All countries culturally or linguistically connected to English. Even English political class, but wait, no, fuck off. Okay, English political. I mean, every politician in England, I think, would be made better for being shame-marched naked through towns to have feces and vomit thrown on them. UK politician David Curtin, I don't know if that's true of David Curtin, had posted an excerpt of a novel where Bond sees the villains conservatives amongst the gathering of evildoers, famously promoting COVID vaccine mask-wearing 5G conspiracy theories. Look, dude, really? Do you really honestly think that international COVID response was to benefit us or benefit multinational pharmaceutical corporations that paid off politicians massively. What do you think, right? What do you think? Hashtag died suddenly. That doesn't mean the vaccine had a chip in it or something, right? Although I wouldn't be surprised at anything. It meant that like probably in 0.4% of people in the right demographic, they're going to die of blood clots, right? And that's the sort of thing that needs to be weeded out. Because 0.44% of, 1,000 people is what, 4? Right? It's not a huge amount, right? Of like, was it 70 billion people or 70 million people? That's a lot more, right? That's thousands of people are going to die. Tens of thousands. Marks at climate change denial pronouncements. Again, I'm kind of with Vivek Ramaswamy and climate change. I believe it's happening. I think the climate change response is a scam to enrich people, right? I completely believe that. On the same page, Bond notices the villainous gathering has a lack of diversity or disabled representation. Fuck off! What? There's not enough people in wheelchairs in the Spectre's meeting. You fucking pussy cunts. Oh my God. Oh my God. I mean, like, Jesus. I mean, like, they cucked Bond, right? The cucking of James Bond. Oh God, it sounds awful. Bonds was struck by something. It was a long while since he had any kind of function that was exclusively full of men. It was strange, not even a pretense of diversity here. Diversity is a pretense. God, Higson, you are a pussy beyond pussy. Oh my, who is this guy? It's not the guy who did Black Mirror. Charlie Higson. This is shit. I mean, firstly, look at him. Why would anybody be in any way surprised, right? Career. Did he do Black? Is this guy did Black Mirror? I can't remember. Broadchurch. What was it? What did he do in that? Was he appeared in them? He had a role in them. Okay. I don't know what to tell you. Swiss Tony. Randall Hawk DC, so that's where I knew him from. I quite like that, right? I quite like that. That's what it was. But like, this sounds like garbage beyond garbage beyond garbage. I mean, like, hot garbage. Hadn't been at least a bit concerned about ensuring that half the people he hired to carry out the coup should be women, non-white, or disabled. Yeah, why not hire people based on their abilities, right? Yeah, this sounds awful. Abbott responded in writing, the woke create these idiotic straw men out of anyone who doesn't think exactly like them, and then imagine supervillains be plotting to destroy the world. Later adding, this is why Hollywood can't write good villains anymore. They can't write at all. Yeah, so look, this thing looks like it got his ass handed to him, and for good bloody reason. Oh my God, this sounds awful, right? This sounds absolutely awful. This sounds actually quite exciting. Buffy the Vampire Slayer series coming to Audible with original cast. I like. I mean, honestly, do I want Audible to buy Big Finish? Kinda, and get their catalog. Kinda. That would make me get an Audible subscription. But I mean, look, I guess they've forgotten that Joss Whedon's a bit of a shit right now, and they're moving on. The audio original brings fans fresh joy and a new world filled with horror, heart, humor, and surprises every time. Trouble is, though, Buffy, great though it was, left such a devastating impact across the world of genre, right? Where everybody had to get this quirky Buffy talk, which I freaking hated. Audible announced the first ever audio original set in the Buffy the Vampire Slayer universe. Slayer, the Buffyverse story, is set to premiere October 12, 2023, 20 years after the series finale Buffy the Vampire Slayer. The audio original was written by original cast member Amber Benson alongside Christopher Golden and directed by Benson, Golden, and Casey Whalen. Okay, good for them, right? Good for them that they got the band back together again. There we go. Amber Benson. She was. Which one was she in Buffy? Wasn't she the sister that turned up in season 5? You went, well, who's that? Hang on. Amber Benson. I think so. Did she play? Let's see. Let's have a look. Who was she in Buffy? I mean, well, I'm looking through this. Oh, this is film. I should be on TV. Books. No, she's at this television, right? Television. Cracker. That must be the Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Tara, right? Tara is a fictional character. Great. Yeah, she was Willow's girlfriend, right? This was back when people could be hot on TV. Women could be hot on TV. Man, have you seen Ahsoka? There is not a pair of tits to be seen. I mean, like even under clothes in Ahsoka. No one is for the male gaze, right? No one's hot. I mean, although the green Twi'lek mummy one had quite a nice ass, right? That's the best I can say about it. And that's the best I can say about the whole bloody show. First time in 20 years, the supernatural drama will reunite original series stars James Masters, Chris Carpenter, Anthony Head, Juliet Lando, Emma Caulfield, Amber Benson, James Charles Leary, Danny Strong, along with fresh faces. Who's Danny Strong? Hey, I've got to look at these people. Danny Strong. Is he the guy who ended up in Mad Men? Yeah, I kind of liked it. Okay, so he's back. Bringing back, and who's James Charles Leary? I know who everybody else is. Yeah, he was very good in Mad Men. In fact, I'm rewatching it right now, and he just came into it. So this was, I can't remember. It looks like he played a. Let's see, do they have his character? I don't know. Fine. I see they're not getting Nicholas Brandon back. Fine. The audio original brings fans a fresh story in a new world filled with the horror, heart, humor, and surprises every turn. I wonder if it ties into the comic book. The upcoming scripted audio picked up 10 years after the events of the final Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Since then, Spike James Masters has gone deep undercover in Los Angeles, convincing the forces of darkness that he's back to his evil ways. When his cover is compromised by 16-year-old Indira Nunali, Layla Delon Hayes, Spike finds himself on Baby Slayer sitting duty one more. Okay. I mean, I like Spike a lot, but he really kind of needs that leather jacket, right? Great leather jacket. I like the one where we found out where he got it from killing that Slayer. While he attempts to track down a watcher for his eager new protege, their paths collide with veteran Slayer on parallel realities where Buffy Summers never existed. In reality, where Cordelia Chase, Charisma Carpenter, is the one and only Slayer. Oh, that's interesting. Wonder what she looks now. Because she was insanely smoking, right? What she look like how many years now? 20 years later? Still doesn't look bad. Today still does not look bad. Is that today? I mean, like, how old is she there? Still looking pretty darn good. Okay. Yeah. Okay, we can't argue there. She needs she needs Spike help with the classic big bag terrorizing the world. His old famed Drusilla, Juliet Lando. Juliet Lando was great as Romana. I'm ecstatic to be back with my dear friends for the next chapter in the Buffyverse as we take listeners on a familiar but unexpected journey chock full of horror, passion, and mischief, says James Masters. I wonder if Big Finish tried to get the licenses. I'm excited for the old and new fans to experience the beloved world of vampire slaying like never before, brought to you by an immersive audio storytelling. Listen, good luck. I think it's a great idea, right? Slayer, the Buffyverse story, offers a fresh, dynamic take on a cult classic that takes listeners on a fun, nostalgic ride, commented Rachel Giaz, Chief Content Officer, Audible. The all-star cast reprising beloved roles along with newcomers. Yeah, listen, the Babylon 5 reboot I thought was freaking awesome, right? I thought that was absolutely excellent reboot. Cartoon they came out with earlier this year. Thought that was absolutely excellent. Maybe this will be good too. Right? I mean, this is tempting me to get an Audible subscription. Especially as Big Finish is really winding up, right? Good Good for them, right? I am happy to hear. So here's another silly little story, right? Why I love and I'm confounded by Alan Moore at every turn. Watchmen and the self-responsible scribe Alan Moore says he asked for DC Comics to send all money from any future TV series or films. Okay, I like that he refuses any money from them because he thinks they're awful bastardizations of his work, which they are. I mean, the picture on Watchmen is a great example of it, right? Absolutely. He doesn't understand his work. But then he also sends a Black Lives Matter, which is a violent fascist group, essentially, that just embezzles money. And, like, do you think DC and Warner won't be happy to do that? They'll be freaking ecstatic to do that. You should have told them in 2017 they'll get a hard-on. They'll probably give them double, right? For God's sake, Alan, mate, this is exactly what corporations like to do, right? So let's just see if we have his quote. Blah blah blah. Yeah, I mean, like, he's moved on, right? He's got other. Asked by the outlets, Kate Jering, how he was enjoying the foray into literary publishing, Moore asserted, "I'm having a very good time of it," and noted that a large part of the positive experience was based on the fact that his publisher, Bloomsbury, respected my decisions and opinions. It's not something you've got in comics, mate. I own my own work, he added. It doesn't sound like a lot if you're used to a traditional grown-up publishing, but it means an awful lot if you're used to the comic book industry. Comic book industry is best up. It does make me wish that maybe I'd grown into writing prose fiction back in the late 70s. Dude, I doubt you probably would have got the... I mean, like, it took you a long time to break into literary publishing. So he wants them to give them all... the gentrification of comics that happened post-Watchmen, that the neighborhood had been lifted out of the reach of the inhabitants. Now they're called graphic novels, which sound sophisticated, and you can charge a lot more for them, he lamented. What appeals to me most about comics is no more that these innocent and inventive and imaginative superhero characters from the 40s, 50s, and 60s are being recycled into model audiences' adult fare. I didn't mean my experiments in comics to be immediately taken up as something that the whole industry should do. The Mogo creator further explained. When I was doing things like Watchmen, I was not saying that dark psychopathic characters are really cool. Well, he did make a lot of very cool dark psychopathic characters, but it does seem to be the message the industry took. Yes, they're morons, right? They're absolute morons. So yeah, I was always very impressed that he refused any more money from these projects, right? And I also been impressed that he refused fame. I never wish to even be shared with other creatives. The author said. The author, I don't really feel with recent films that they have stood by what I assume to be the original principles. So I asked DC to send all my money for future TV series and films to Black Lives Matter again. But there are so many more worthwhile causes than Black Lives Matter. It's beyond me, right? I mean, it really is beyond me. I mean, like, the racism that is represented by Black Lives Matter and the white people who want to shill for them is shocking, right? What's this? When I saw the television industry awards that Watchmen television show had apparently won, I thought, oh God, perhaps a large part of the public think this is what Watchmen was. No, nobody watched it, mate. Nobody watched. Forget it. Yeah, and this Watchmen was just, again, this was liberal white racism pumping through every core of it, right? Pumping through every freaking core of it, because it just was. It's disgusting. Fine. Speaking of disgusting things, here's Mira Margulis. Can't really stand Mira Margulis. For life of me, I don't know why she's so famous. I thought she played Nursey in Blackadder. Apparently not, right? What is her biggest role? Mira Margulis. She really just makes me retch, right? In pretty much every way, shape, and form. She's 53, looking good for 53. Let's have a look at her. Like, she was in Harry Potter. She was like a bit part in Harry Potter. Who cares, right? Like who cares? She was in The Water Margin, the English dub of The Water Margin. Well, that's it. That monkey. Well, okay, I'm kind of impressed with both those things. That both those things sound cool. Blackadder 2, Lady Whiteadder. Oh, she was in that one episode. But Blackadder's Christmas special. I just don't see anything she's done that's been like that interesting or like important. She just suddenly was like, "Hi, I'm famous now," and she's just vile. So I thought this was old news, right? She's been revealed to be the voice of Meet the Beep, or Beep the Meep or Meet the Beep, I can't remember, for the 6th anniversary specials. Again, nothing about the 6th anniversary specials in any way make me excited anymore. And I just thought that's such a great shame. I really do. I thought it's such a pity because they were really exciting, right? I'll tell you. Actor 82 said a new role as an alien in the Cypher series made an old woman very happy. Well, I'm glad you're happy. It made a lot of Doctor Who fans very sad. So, what do you say? Margulis, who appeared in Blackadder, Babe, and Harry Potter, again, literally as voices or bit parts, right? But, like her parts in Blackadder, she was literally she was an extra with a few lines. I don't think it got more than that. A furry and seemingly adorable. He's playing Beat the Meep. A furry and seemingly adorable alien from the Starbeast comic strip special. The creature will feature in an episode of the same name. The Meep, which is small and large and female-like ears, first appeared. But again, Doctor Who magazine. The actor said, "I'm relieved I got to work on Doctor Who before I died." Well, I was hoping out for the dying first. I'm still helping out for the apocalypse, right? Come on, apocalypse. You want to, mate. You want to. With sci-fi, you never know. Thank you for making an old woman very happy. I don't want to. So, what's this? Fine. So, Doctor Who, #Who Spy teaser image. Plans are forming, but whose plans? Right. Again, just trying to generate some buzz for the new era. The only thing they're excited about is chicks with dicks. Like, literally, the only thing they're in any way excited about is chicks with dicks. We're about 2 months before the Disney, BBC, and Disney Plus and BBC showrun Rusty Davies prepare for the new era of the long-running series with 3 60th anniversary special event, 3 episodes 60th anniversary special event, and by the time the final credits roll this November, we'll be treated to the return of David Tennant as the 14th Doctor, Catherine Tate, and 15th Doctor, Ncuti Gatwa. I still think he's probably going to be an unnumbered Doctor. And my concern is he's going to be a trans Doctor, right? I think he's going to be wearing women's clothing for several episodes, right? Because he changes costume every episode. Please, I hope I'm wrong. With that in mind, it appears the BBC are looking to get in the business of dropping teasers for us to pick over with magnifying glasses. Well, yeah, I'm sorry, you killed all interest with bollocks, right? Doomsday. And they're calling it #WhoSpy. After getting a heads up last week, #WhoSpy checked in earlier with the following images, along with the following tease. Plans are forming. Okay. Is this for the anniversary special season 14? This looks kind of like the anniversary special, something to do with the Celestial Toy Maker or whatever Neil Patrick Harris's character is. Could be something we're supposed to figure out how a certain blue box can be bigger on the inside. Maybe Gatwa is playing a character who keeps having dreams and visions of blue boxes. I don't know. I don't see a blue box. Where's this blue box? Okay. Here's a look. Let us know what you think in the comment section. Is there anybody talking in the comment section about anything? I guess not. Be the first to comment. Really? Like no one's. Maybe if I refresh. Like honestly, no one's commented. That's how nobody gives a shit, right? That's really where we are. Click to load them now. Okay, let's clicking here to load them now. Not seeing any comments. Okay, anything? Yeah, no one gives a shit. That's a story right there. How no one gives a shit. So this was published 3 days ago. No one gives a shit, right? That's the bottom line. No one gives a shit. And it's such a shame. So there was a big interview with Bonnie Langford in this month's Doctor Who magazine, and also Emily Cook for some unknown reason. So what they're saying, but Langford's cameo was brief and didn't get a chance to see what's happening. She said Mel felt that she had to stop traveling the universe and actually literally get back down to earth and face the things she'd been running away from. Okay, so was I Rusty Davies is good at providing us characters with good background and grounding. I think that was one of the successes of his first run. Oh God, I hope I'm wrong. Anyway, Doctor Who magazine, we have, which was a very lackluster issue. We have Rusty Davies in it talking about seeing the first edit of the Starbase, the first of the three episodes, that 6th anniversary episodes, and just ripping the piss, right? Rip the piss a lot to Jodie fans who are going to complain about her being erased. And I just feel that's one of the things he's going to do. I think he felt the Chibnall era was so unbelievably awful and broke canon so much, he needs to reset it somehow. He needs to fix it somehow. And because he said that many times, that if it goes wrong, that he feels the responsibility to fix it. Again, fixing it with lots of chicks with dicks. We're getting one or the other, as far as I can tell. Hopefully, we're getting the erasure of the Timeless Child. I don't have time to get into it now, but there are lots of articles about the Timeless Child. How is Rusty Davies going to deal with it? He's going to ignore it, right? It's going to, and I think he's going to retcon it all away. Oh, hopefully, speedily in our days can he retcon that away. So yeah, join me back again. I'm going to be back on, I think, was it Monday or Tuesday night? I can't remember. 1 second. So Friday night and Saturday night is the Jewish New Year. Sunday it finishes. I'm going to be shagged out. It'll finish around 8 o'clock. So there, I probably won't be streaming on Sunday. Monday is a fast day, so I'll be like kind of jiggered by Monday. So Tuesday we'll be going over the Bonnie Langford interview. See what you say. Look, I like Mel, right? I like Mel. I think she got redeemed a lot from Big Finish, but not enough. like I don't know. I like Bonnie Langford a lot. I think she's grown as an actor as well. So I do hope that it's going to be good, right? I do hope it's going to, who knows what day stream. Fine, I'm going to hand over to myself from last night now, where we go over Rusty Davies' comment again, where he rips the piss, and it is somewhat delicious. Let me hand it to me from last night. Let's have a look. So this is getting the Jodie fans very angry, right? And anything that gets them very angry, well, it does work for me. Let me tell you, it does indeed work for me. Why does it work for me? Because they're awful people. They are genuinely awful people in every freaking way, shape, and form. So letter from the showrunner. Let's have a look. I prefer it when it's called production notes, but then again, that's just me for you. At last, Rusty Davies gets to sit down and watch the finished version of the first of this year's Doctor Who specials. Finally. Okay. Is this in between going to gay rights campaigns and going marches and getting fucked in the ass by trannies and drag queens, I should say, or both, or what? Neither, or all together? While you're making Doctor Who, which is something you've written at before. Finally, it's the first week of August and I get a complete episode of Doctor Who. Yes, it takes this long. God, I'm tired of reading articles that say FX these days are cheap and fast. They're expensive and endless. Okay, it's your problem, baby. I don't care. But at least more entertaining than anything that Chris Chibnall ever wrote. Man, he was a boring guy. But here it is, the final version of the Starbase. And if you... which you will see, faithful viewer, complete with FX and music and credits. It's my job to ultimately sign off on this transmission. So I sit and I watch it for what's probably the 50th time. I sit and watch it as a producer, but this is what it's like to sit and watch it as a fan. Okay. Opening shot. OMG, that's London. Too much London. I like Sheffield. Sheffield snub. Yeah. Listen, the Jodie fans are not happy about Doctor Who moving on. Doctor Who moving on and Jodie being forgotten. And like the speed at which that she's being forgotten is something that they're very unhappy about, because we all want to forget her because she was awful, right? You need to understand that. We all want to forget her because she was awful. Right, opening shot London. So do you reckon it's going to start with a like Rose did, like from space and then zoom down to London? Not Sheffield. Sheffield snub. Icky thump. Is it stock footage? How much does stock footage cost? Why are you yelling? Why are you telling me the very first shot of the new Doctor is from stock? Is that wise? Wait, hold on. In the meta text for in this shot, that RTD told us in the letter from a showrunner is worm eating its tail. Okay, whatever. Music, listen, music. Murray Gold. Is it too loud? Is it too quiet? Is it any good? I'm sure it'll be good, right? I'm sure it's going to be good. Man, if it's not good, I can't even imagine. Where are we up to? OMG, the TARDIS. It's Jodie's exterior. She's not been erased. Yes, she has. And yet, by not erasing her, we're erasing the argument that she's been erased. And therefore, is this an act of erasure? Is it? She's going to be erased. I'm sorry. She is going to be erased. Oh, the music's changed. I thought it was going to be this, and now it's turned into that. No, I had no warning. What's that? What's that wind? Is that the TARDIS wind on David's hair? Remember David's hair from the 50th? Love the 50th. How can we ever live this up? You can't. 50th is the 5th anniversary year is so much better than this year, mate. Right? It is so much better than this year. When are we going to see the TARDIS interior? Oh man, I hated that with Matt Smith. How they made us wait to what, the second episode where we was it at the end of the first? I can't remember. They made us wait to see the TARDIS interior, and I really wanted to see the TARDIS interior. What's the music doing now? I don't like it. Is that Dudley Simpson motif? Oh wait, this is Camden. That's where I used to go to school. I saw this online because fans stood on the spot and took photos. Therefore, I have seen all this from slightly but crucially different angles. I wish I'd been there. I will go there. Bring back the Doctor Who experience, but it's still very rude to the people in Sheffield. They're very upset. Yes, he's taking the piss out of Jodie fans, and yeah, there's a lot to take the piss out of. I will not post about this and get reactions to the snobgate. I wonder if all the extras have signed NDA. Probably. How do I become an extra? Wait, the music just went up. Is this Donna's theme? Is it? Are there the same exact calls that played at 4317 on turn left? I think so. I doubt myself. I know nothing, Sivity. This is a basic fan experience. Will this soundtrack be released? Probably. And why can't they release the novelization of this tonight? Well, they really should do digitally, I think. But is it any good or merely 7 out of 10? I hope for Sean's backstory. Will anyone ever go the extra mile, please? Okay. Oh, the Doctor's coat. I like it. I don't like it. Will there be an interview about the coat? There's Catherine Tate. That theme that was presaging her. Wait, this is a scene that's been reconstructed online from the fan footage, except I think certain lines have been cut. Will we ever see those missing lines? Will Doctor Who Magazine print them? And why not? Yeah, look, I still want to see Shooter's interview. Put that on the DVD, man, the Blu-ray. Well, Doctor Who, and why not? Censorship. Was it for this clay? Was it for the clay grew tool? I have no idea what that means. Okay. Will the socials repackage or if deleted material or on the DVD? If not, why not? Release the Snyder Cut. Okay. I wonder if Jodie and Peter and Matt and Chris are watching. They're not. Well, I mean, yeah, they're not. Peter might, maybe. Probably not. He's been pretty bird with Doctor Who. But why Camden? Why? It's a pun. Will the villain turn out to be Camilla from State of Decay? I doubt it. Will who is hiding her? Den, do you see Camden? Get it? Okay, whatever. Is this 4K? What is 4K? Will they upscale to 5K and ruin it? Confetti. Was that a Trump thing or was that a Biden thing? Whatever. Will that be? Will this track be cool? What will this be called on the soundtrack? A Camden Greeting. When will they release soundtrack for season 10? I thought they just did. And more importantly, what are the backstage secrets and possibly murders that kept season 10 from us? And why, Murray? Why? Well, I think probably because of the popularity of Doctor Who nosedive with Jodie Whittaker, making a negative sales environment to release it. But will be my guess, right? I wonder how many people are watching. Not enough. Do not die, Doctor Who. You get it's time you died. Do you get paid extra for a night shoot? I assume you do. But wait, if Donna remembers a doctor, will she die? Sends text. But didn't she remember him at the end of time? I don't think so. Receives text. No, she remembered aliens, but not the doctor. Nitpicking. Oh my OMG. But wait, look, Few. We are faithful viewer. 30 seconds in. Good luck. Yeah, that was a kind of a vicious piss take. Mainly of Jodie fans, but of like fans in general, right? What's this? Okay. Doctor Who showrunner addresses Jodie Whittaker's erasure, sort of. Has the 13th Doctor era been erased from Doctor Who history? Rusty Davies, what we said, well, why would we assume it had been? We're all hoping it's going to be, but why would we assume it had been? I don't understand. Yeah, let's read this. Following claims on social media that Jodie Whittaker time on Doctor Who is being erased from Doctor Who history. Who's saying that? I mean, I'm saying I want that to happen, but who's saying that's happening? Returning showrunner Rusty responded to online chatter, sort of. The claims that Whittaker's time on Doctor Who are being erased from the show's history have largely related to suggestions that she's been absent from the marketing surrounding the show. Again, she was toxic to the brand. Everybody fucking hated her. Like, I'm sorry that makes you feel bad, but everybody hated her. Everybody hated her era. She was useless. Oh, again, she was toxic to the brand. So yes, even if Rusty Davies say, "Oh yes, we're erasing her from the brand," yeah, absolutely, because we don't want anybody to think about her. Even if he doesn't say that, yes, that's what he's doing. Oh, likely have been absent from the marketing material surrounding the show. As such, magazine annual covers and that David Tennant's 14th Doctor Regeneration already fully in costume, meaning Whittaker's costume will not be seen at the start of the new era. Yes, because she was shit. And no one liked her. Again, if you're having trouble with this, you need to seek some psychotherapy. Davis has now responded online to the discussion in a tongue-in-cheek fashion in his latest letter from the showrunner segment of Doctor Who magazine. In the piece, Davis reacts to watching the final cut of the Star Beast, the first 30 seconds of it, of the look how shit she looks. I'm sorry, she was shit. In a wide-ranging nod to online fan discussion, which also mentioned the Snyder cut of Justice League and Doctor Who accounts for this season 10 soundtrack release. I think it has just been released, hasn't it? David says that he watches the TARDIS come on screen and he goes, "Oh, indeed, the TARDIS, it's the Jodie exterior. She's not been erased." And by not erasing, by not erasing her, the argument is that she's been erased, therefore it's an act of erasure. Is it? Yeah, he's taking piss out and people are freaking out. She's being erased, darling, right? They're retconning the era. I believe he is. Right? He's retconning it and replacing it with lots of chicks with dicks, but I think he's retconning it. Davidson refers to Whittaker's era and the shift of how the show made to Sheffield during it, rather than being set in London as mainly Earth-based adventures have been since 2005. ONG, too much London. It's a Sheffield snob. I like Sheffield. Sheffield's no. Anything connecting it to Whittaker years you want to forget. Right? Again, toxic to the brand. It was literally toxic to the brand. I will post about this and get reactions to the snub. Whittaker's Doctor regenerated at the end of last year, and the power of the Doctor
with marking the end of the Chris Chibnall's time on the show and the end of his employment making television, by the looks of it, as showrunner, and the beginning of Davies' second era. God, how much longer will this go on? It's just waffling on for nothing. Fine. Right. It's saying absolutely nothing, right? It's saying absolutely nothing. I know what to tell you.
My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.